Y'all read the title, and honestly, I already know this video is probably going to start a lot of conversations. Some people are going to agree with me, some people are going to completely disagree with me, some people are probably going to think I'm overreacting, and that's completely fine. Everybody experiences games differently. But before we even get into this video properly, let me make one thing very clear. No, this is not the end of Just Dan. No, this is not the end of Cat Holloway and Headhunter. And no, I am not quitting YouTube. I feel like I gotta clarify that immediately because every time somebody makes a video talking negatively about Fortnite, people instantly assume they're retiring from content creation forever. That is not what this video is. This video is mainly about how I personally feel about Fortnite nowadays, why I haven't been enjoying the game nearly as much recently, and why my content has slowly started expanding into other games over time. And honestly, if you've been watching me for a while, you've probably already noticed it. I still talk about Fortnite. I still post Fortnite shorts. I still use Fortnite characters on my channel. I still check the item shop. I still care about cosmetics. But actually sitting down and playing the game for long periods of time? Yeah, it just does not hit the same anymore. And before anybody says, "Oh, you're just burnt out because you've been playing too much." Yeah, that is part of the reason. But I also think the game itself has changed a lot over the years, and not always for the better. Some changes were good. Some changes made sense. And then there are other changes where I genuinely sit there and wonder, who asked for this? And the thing is, this is not me trying to blindly hate on Fortnite. Fortnite gave me so many memories. Fortnite helped shape my channel. Fortnite introduced me to characters I genuinely enjoy using in content. Fortnite was one of the biggest reasons I even got deeper into gaming content in the first place. So this is not one of those videos where I scream for 20 minutes straight calling the game trash. It's more like disappointment. Like watching something you used to genuinely love slowly stop feeling special. And I know a lot of long-term Fortnite players probably understand exactly what I mean. Anyways, enough talking. Grab your popcorn, grab your snacks, grab whatever you need, because we got a lot to go over. So first things first, let's talk about burnout, because I feel like that's probably the easiest thing to point out. Ever since I hit level 200 inches, Chapter 7, Season 2, my motivation to actually grind Fortnite just dropped massively. And honestly, once I finished the Battle Pass, I kinda realized something. I was getting on the game more out of habit than actual excitement. Like, think about it. Back then, I used to genuinely be excited to hop on Fortnite. Even if there wasn't a huge update, I'd still want to get online, check the shop, play with friends, mess around in creative, or just do random stuff. Now, sometimes I log in, stare at the lobby for 5 minutes, check the item shop, then close the game. And that feeling sucks because this is a game I've been attached to for years. But eventually, after playing the same game for such a long time, burnout starts hitting. And I do not think enough people talk about how normal that actually is. You are not going to play the exact same game forever with the exact same level of excitement, especially when Fortnite content is literally everywhere now. Every time you open YouTube, Fortnite, TikTok, Fortnite, Twitter, Fortnite, streams, Fortnite, and after a while, it all starts blending together. Battle Royale gameplay especially started feeling repetitive to me. And before anybody misunderstands me, no, I am not saying Battle Royale itself is terrible. What I'm saying is that after seeing thousands and thousands of Fortnite videos over the years, it becomes harder for gameplay alone to feel exciting. You've seen every challenge. You've seen every clickbait title. You've seen every sweaty ranked clip. You've seen every Fortnite is dying video. You've seen every Fortnite is back video. Eventually, it all starts feeling repetitive. And honestly, that's another reason why I started showing different gameplay in my commentary videos. Because I personally do not want to feel trapped making only one type of content forever. I still enjoy Fortnite-related commentary. I still enjoy talking about cosmetics. I still enjoy making skits and funny moments. But I also want to play other games. I've been playing Roblox more. I've been playing Super Mario Galaxy, both 1 and 2. I've been playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I've been playing Super Mario 64. I've been enjoying different experiences outside of Fortnite. And honestly, it has genuinely reminded me why I enjoy gaming in the first place. Because when you only focus on one game for years and years, eventually it can start feeling more like a job than actual fun. And that's not something I want happening to me. I never want to get to the point where I completely resent Fortnite because I forced myself to keep grinding it non-stop. And I know some people watching probably only care about Fortnite content. I understand that. But at the same time, I also think viewers limiting themselves to one game forever can eventually lead to burnout too. Like, imagine only watching Battle Royale gameplay every single day for years. Eventually, you are going to want something different. That does not mean Fortnite content is bad. It just means variety matters. And honestly, branching out into different games has probably been one of the healthiest things I've done creatively. Because now when I do make Fortnite videos, it feels more refreshing instead of feeling forced. Now let's talk about the actual game itself. Because one of the biggest reasons Fortnite stopped feeling fun to me is that updates just do not feel exciting anymore. And trust me, I know somebody's gonna say, but Chapter 7 Season 3 literally just started. I know. And yes, there is content. But there is a difference between content existing and content feeling exciting. Back then, Fortnite updates genuinely felt like events. People were hyped. People were theorizing. People were excited for storyline developments. LTMs felt special. Events felt memorable. Even checking the item shop felt exciting. Now, a lot of the excitement feels gone. And honestly, I think a huge part of it is because Fortnite changed priorities over time. Nowadays, it feels like most people care more about rarity, ranked, flexing, sweating, status, and shop rotations. And yes, I know cosmetics have always been a big part of Fortnite. I'm literally somebody who talks about cosmetics sometimes too. But there is a difference between enjoying cosmetics and making them your entire personality. Some people treat Fortnite rarity like it's the stock market. And honestly, I think that obsession changed the overall atmosphere around the game. Back then, people cared about having fun. Now it feels like everybody is obsessed with proving something. Either proving they're good at the game, or proving their locker is rare, or proving they've spent the most money. And personally, I just miss when the game felt simpler. Now we gotta talk about the item shop because oh my goodness. This section alone could probably be its own video. The item shop nowadays feels so inconsistent. Back in earlier chapters, shops genuinely felt fun to check. Even if you did not buy anything, there was still excitement seeing what rotated in. There were smaller tabs back then, sure, but there was still something charming about it. And over time, the shops improved. Chapter 2 shops were solid. Chapter 3 shops were genuinely good. Chapter 4 shops had some really nice rotations too. You had variety. You had random cosmetics returning. You had cool collabs. You had actual surprises. And then Chapter 5 happened. Yeah, we do not even need to fully revisit that era because I know a lot of y'all already know what I'm talking about. The Lego stuff completely took over the shop for a while. Tabs felt cluttered. Rotations felt repetitive. And honestly, checking the item shop stopped feeling exciting. Now Chapter 6 and Chapter 7 are kinda mixed for me. Some days the shops are decent. Other days they are absolutely terrible. One thing that annoys me the most though is how inconsistent returns are. Some cosmetics return after less than 30 days. Others disappear for over a year. And there is literally no consistency. Like sometimes you finally buy something because you think, okay, this probably is not returning anytime soon. Then boom, it returns 2 weeks later. Meanwhile, another cosmetic disappears for 400 days for absolutely no reason. And as somebody who used to collect emotes pretty heavily, the shop nowadays just feels exhausting. There are so many cosmetics now, and eventually collecting stopped feeling fun because keeping up with everything became overwhelming. I know people that genuinely stopped collecting entirely during Chapter 6 because the amount of cosmetics became ridiculous. And honestly, I completely understand why. Because Fortnite went from, oh cool, new cosmetic, to, oh great, another 20 things I cannot keep up with. And the thing that still upsets me the most is vault shops disappearing. I miss those so much. The vaulted a year or more sections genuinely made the shop exciting. Collectors loved them. Casual players loved them. People that missed old cosmetics loved them. Seeing random older cosmetics return after years genuinely felt exciting. Now there are cosmetics sitting in the files for hundreds of days and you just gotta pray. Epic randomly remembers they exist. And yes, I know Epic probably does not fully control every single shop decision, especially with collabs and licensing. I understand that, but it still does not change the fact that the current shop system feels way less exciting than before. And another thing that annoyed a lot of people recently was the separate backbling situation. Because now they'll sometimes sell backblings separately, but if you already bought the full skin bundle before, you do not really get any proper compensation for that. Like imagine spending 1,000, 500 or 2,000 V-Bucks on something earlier, then later they start separating pieces individually without giving previous buyers better options. And honestly, this change is both good and bad. It's good for people that do not own the original skin because now they can finally buy the backbling separately without having to spend a bunch of V-Bucks on an entire bundle they might not even want. But at the same time, it's also bad for people that originally bought certain skins only because they wanted the backbling that came with it. So now it kind of feels like, wait, I spent all those V-Bucks back then for no reason? It just feels messy overall. And honestly, Fortnite has slowly started feeling more aggressive with monetization over time. Not insanely aggressive compared to some other games, but definitely worse than before. Speaking of monetization, yeah, we gotta talk about the V-Bucks changes. Because even though this already got discussed a lot, it still annoys me. The exact amount option especially feels horrible now. Like genuinely, the prices just feel worse than they used to. And I already know somebody's gonna say, well, I have thousands of V-Bucks saved up. Okay, cool. But eventually, those V-Bucks are gonna run out. The changes still affect everybody in the long run. And the thing that makes it worse is that cosmetics themselves already became more overwhelming. So now not only are there more cosmetics than ever before, but buying them feels worse too. It just creates this weird feeling where the game constantly wants your attention and your money at the same time. And honestly, it gets tiring. Another major reason Fortnite feels less enjoyable nowadays is because Epic keeps changing things that honestly did not need changing. And the ranked system is one of the biggest examples. Remember when ranked was simple? After Diamond, you had Elite, Champion, Unreal. That was it. Simple. Easy to understand. Now, Elite has multiple levels. Champion has multiple levels. Everything feels stretched out. And honestly, it just made ranked feel more grindy than before. Like, why are we turning every single rank into mini bronze and silver divisions? And look, I understand some people probably like the extra progression. But for me personally, it just felt unnecessary. Especially because ranked already feels sweaty enough as it is. And then they changed the ranked reward system too. Back then, ranked quests felt manageable. You could casually play across different modes and slowly unlock cosmetics over time. You did not need to dedicate your entire existence to ranked. Now, some of these requirements are ridiculous. You gotta reach specific ranks. Certain rewards are locked behind certain modes. Battle Royale rewards are separate. Reload rewards are separate. Ballistic rewards are separate. Everything feels overcomplicated. And honestly, the second I looked at some of the requirements, I immediately thought, yeah, nah, I am not doing all that. Which sucks because some of the rewards actually look cool. I liked some of the ranked pickaxes, but the grind attached to them just completely killed my motivation. And that is another issue Fortnite has nowadays. So many systems feel designed around keeping players grinding non-stop instead of just having fun. Now I also want to talk about the layoffs for a second because I feel like that situation genuinely impacted the game more than people realize. And first of all, I genuinely feel bad for everybody affected by that. Losing your job is terrible, especially when you've spent years helping work on one of the biggest games in the world. But after those layoffs happened, the game genuinely started feeling different to me. Bugs started sticking around longer. Certain updates felt weaker. Communication started feeling weirder. And overall, the game just started feeling less polished. Now, obviously, I do not know every behind-the-scenes detail. None of us fully do. But as players, you can feel when a game starts losing some of its polish. And honestly, Fortnite has had more moments recently where it feels messy compared to older chapters. And speaking of messy, oh my goodness, the bugs. I swear no matter how many updates Fortnite gets, something is always broken. Every single update introduces another issue. The emote wheel still lags sometimes. The last acquired cosmetics bug is still annoying. Older skins randomly appearing in recently acquired was funny at first. People were trolling their friends pretending they just got old skins. But after months and months, it stopped being funny and just became irritating. I literally switched my locker filter because of it. And then you got emotes like L'Amazing still having delays. And then pointed out being bugged forever. And honestly, what frustrates me most is how long some of these bugs stay in the game. Like, these are not bugs lasting 2 days. Some of these issues stay around for months. And that's another thing that annoys me. Epic can patch harmless fun glitches almost instantly, but actual annoying bugs stay in the game forever. Like, remember the grappler spam glitch? Apparently they patched it because people were abusing it in Reload. But the funny thing is, you can still kinda do the same thing by just shooting then sprinting anyways. And then they patched the door slam spam glitch too for, honestly, I do not even know why.
Do this while you can because it's not gonna last forever. Huh?
Those glitches were not even hurting the game like that. Meanwhile, broken emotes, locker bugs, UI issues, delayed animations, and other annoying problems somehow survive update after update. It honestly reminds me of Rockstar games sometimes. Like they out here patching fun glitches while actual problems stay in the game forever. And yes, I understand game development is difficult. I understand Fortnite is a huge game. I understand bugs happen. But when certain problems stay around for almost a year, eventually players are going to get frustrated, especially when the game constantly pushes new cosmetics and collaborations while older issues stay unfixed. Now this next opinion might upset some people. But personally, I think UEFN changed Fortnite in ways that kinda hurt the overall experience. Now before anybody gets mad, no, I am not saying UEFN itself is terrible. There are talented creators making amazing maps. Some experiences are genuinely impressive. But at the same time, Fortnite nowadays sometimes feels less like a focused game and more like a giant advertisement board for random experiences. Every time you open Discover, there are 50 million random maps. Half the thumbnails look like mobile game ads. Some maps are literally copy and pasted, and honestly, it just feels cluttered. Meanwhile, actual core game issues still exist. So, as a player, it sometimes feels like Epic is more focused on expanding Fortnite into this giant metaverse thing instead of polishing the actual game experience. And maybe that works for some people. But for me personally, I miss when Fortnite felt simpler. Another thing that contributed to burnout for me was side modes slowly becoming less exciting. Party Royale especially. And honestly, some of y'all might be wondering, what does Party Royale even have to do with Fortnite itself? Well, for one, I used to make Party Royale content pretty often. And two, there was actually a period of time where I played Party Royale more than Battle Royale. So for me personally, seeing that mode slowly lose its spark definitely affected my overall enjoyment of Fortnite too. There was actually a time where Party Royale felt genuinely fun and alive. It was chaotic. People were hanging out. People were trolling. People were showing off emotes. And honestly, it led to some really funny content and memories. It also used to get updates more often, and events actually happened there too. If you guys remember that giant screen area where you could watch videos with other players, then you know what I'm talking about. Back then, it genuinely felt like a social space. Nowadays though, they barely even do anything with the mode anymore. Most of the updates now feel really minimal. Like yeah, adding jam tracks to Party Royale was cool because now you're not just awkwardly standing there dancing by yourself the whole time. At least people can mess around with music together now. Although when jam tracks first got added, if you were an emote battler or a YouTuber trying to record clips, it was honestly kind of annoying at times. But at the same time, it was also pretty funny because you'd sometimes get hilarious reactions from people.
Stacy, can I come? I've been waiting.
And before anybody says, what about copyrighted music? There actually was a setting to turn licensed audio off, so thankfully that part was manageable. But even with those additions, the mode still eventually became repetitive. And another thing, some of the textures in Party Royale are still bugged. Trees look weird sometimes, platforms glitch out sometimes, and it just adds on to that feeling that the mode barely gets proper attention anymore. And honestly, that also leads perfectly into the next point about creative and UEFN. Same thing with certain community modes too. Even Murder Mystery. I know some people still enjoy it, and I had fun with it for a while too. But eventually, the toxicity got annoying, the content started feeling repetitive, and there just was not enough new stuff happening. And honestly, that is kind of the overall theme with Fortnite for me nowadays. A lot of things that used to feel exciting eventually started feeling repetitive. Now obviously we gotta talk about the Fortnite community. And yes, the community is still toxic. But honestly, the community is not even close to being my biggest issue with Fortnite. Because every online game has toxic players. That is just reality. You are never going to completely avoid toxicity online. And honestly, most toxic people are easy to ignore anyway. If somebody spends all day talking trash online while hiding behind a screen, that says more about them than it does about you. And I know some people genuinely get affected by toxic comments. But personally, I think the best thing you can do is avoid feeding into it. Because most trolls want reactions. That is literally the whole point. So yeah, the Fortnite community can definitely be annoying sometimes, but they are not the main reason I stopped enjoying the game. The bigger issue for me is the overall direction Fortnite has been heading in. And honestly, I think this is the biggest reason of all. Fortnite just does not feel special anymore. Back then, everything felt fresh. The game felt unique. Events felt memorable. Seeing new skins felt exciting. Even simple updates felt huge. Now, Fortnite feels more like a constantly updating content machine. There is always something happening. Always another collaboration. Always another cosmetic. Always another mode. Always another update. And weirdly enough, I think that constant non-stop flow of content made things feel less impactful, because nothing really has time to breathe anymore. Something huge happens, then 3 days later, everybody moves on to the next thing. And maybe that is just modern gaming in general, but I definitely miss when Fortnite updates felt like actual events instead of temporary distractions. Now, despite everything I just said in this video, I still want to make something very clear. I do not hate Fortnite, and I am not abandoning Fortnite content. Fortnite is still a huge part of my channel identity. Cat Holloway and Headhunter are still a massive part of my content. I still enjoy making shorts. I still enjoy talking about cosmetics. I still enjoy certain game modes. And honestly, there are still moments where Fortnite can be fun. But at the same time, I also do not want to force myself to only make Fortnite content forever. Because creatively, that would probably destroy my motivation completely. I want to branch out. I want to play different games. I want to experiment with different content. And honestly, I think that variety is healthier for both me and the channel overall. Because if I only focused on Fortnite forever despite not enjoying it as much anymore, eventually the content would start feeling forced. And I never want that. At the end of the day, Fortnite simply does not make me feel the same way it used to. That does not mean the game is objectively terrible. That does not mean nobody else is allowed to enjoy it. And it definitely does not mean I am quitting. It just means I've changed. The game changed. And my relationship with Fortnite changed too. And honestly, I think a lot of longtime players probably relate to that feeling. Sometimes you outgrow games. Sometimes games change direction. Sometimes burnout happens. And sometimes all of those things happen at once. But regardless of how I feel about Fortnite nowadays, I will always appreciate the memories this game gave me. I met cool people because of Fortnite. I made content because of Fortnite. I built part of my channel because of Fortnite. And no matter how frustrated I get with the game sometimes, that history is always going to matter to me. Anyways, if y'all related to anything I said in this video, let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to support it because I genuinely think a lot of people probably feel the same way. Also, consider using code JUSTDAN in the Fortnite item shop. And if you do not play Fortnite or spend money on the game anymore, my Ko-Fi page is still in the description too. And honestly, after everything we talked about in this video, if y'all want to chill, talk about games, cosmetics, content creation, or just hang out in general, my Discord server is linked in the description as well because I got a feeling a lot of y'all probably relate to what I said in this video. And some of y'all might even want to talk to me directly or ask me questions about my experience with the game after everything I went over in this video. But anyways, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate all the support as always, and I hope y'all have a wonderful Friday.